That whole situation in Israel, I don't know. You cannot fix that.
No.
There's
Yeah.
no way you're gonna fix that.
Money's not gonna fix it.
I mean, nothing's gonna fix that. And I see it as nothing more than ethnic cleansing when you take a country. I mean, that was your whole purpose to make it a Jewish state.
Yeah.
That's ethnic cleansing. And once you do that, it's no going back. You cannot fix that. Because all the people they've killed, the innocents in Palestine, the Palestinians, it's like you're creating more people that you're now labeling as terrorists.
Yes.
Like I made this argument the other day. I was like, what's going on in Israel? Like, for example, the British, when they helped found the Jewish state, that's like Canada and Mexico coming together and say, hey, we're gonna make Texas the Muslim state.
Yep.
And now you're turning everybody that lives there into now terrorists because they're not going to stand up for that.
Right.
And that's how I make the argument to conservatives. That's what's going on in Israel.
Because I think these people are just retaliating to what happened to their families.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because 100 years ago, it was nearly all Muslims. The population was 95% Muslim. 99% of the land was owned by Muslims. That was at the turn of the last century.
Were there Christians and Jews there too, or
There were, but they
Okay.
were a very small minority
Yeah,
in
that's
Palestine.
the whole purpose to make it a Jewish state. That's the whole purpose. They was not the majority
right?
at all.
Exactly. It was intentional. And the organized Zionists, because that's what the movement's called, the Zionism, this we're going to bring the Jewish people, create a Jewish country. They used some very spurious tactics to bring people over there. Like they would create actually fake anti-Semitic attacks to scare Jews. In Eastern Europe, in Iraq, they would go there and say, it's not safe for Jews. You have to go to Palestine to drive Jewish immigration. A lot of people said, we don't want to move to Palestine. We don't want to move to this place where there's no Jewish people. So they had to scare them into going over there. And they even work with the Nazis, actually. A lot of people don't know that. It's called the Transfer Agreement. And the early Zionists work with Hitler and the Nazis to bring a lot of the German Jews to Palestine. And over the course of a half century, they completely took over the land. They through immigration, largely brought all these people over there. And then with the help of the United States, the United Kingdom, they established this country. And in 1948, they massacred the existing population. In establishing the country, they went in there and they massacred thousands of people, drove them from their land. And that is what created the roots of every radical Muslim group that you see today. The roots of Palestinian Islamic Jihad, Hezbollah, Hamas, all goes back to what they call the Nakba in 1948. And so I'm a Christian, so I don't agree with the terrorist tactics like suicide bombing and killing civilians yet. And there's nuance. These are people that have been oppressed, massacred, women and children killed for generations. They're angry. They're angry, and they've been forced into an impossible, unsolvable situation. Doesn't make what they're doing right, but it's not like what other people say where like they're the antagonist, like they initiated this, like they just have hatred in their hearts.